Hello students, I am Ekta Singhvi and I take English grammar for you. I welcome you all to my class. The topic that I have brought today is a little confusing one, types of sentences. So let us start. So types of sentence, when we say about types of sentence, there are basically 4 types of sentences. What are they? Let us see with the help of example. So if I write like the doctor came. The doctor came. It's a very simple sentence, isn't it? There is one subject, the doctor, and there is a verb, came. This kind of sentence which has just one verb, this is just one verb in the sentence, this type of sentence is known as simple sentence. Now, if we add a little something to it, the doctor came and saw the patient. So, here what we have done, here basically these are 2 sentences. The doctor came is one sentence. The doctor saw the patient. The doctor, it is implied, saw the patient. This is another sentence. Okay? And we have joined these 2 sentences with this conjunction called and. So, how many verbs are there? Let us see. The doctor came, both the sentence, since they are both sentence in their own sense, so they will have verb. Saw is the verb here. They have subject, the doctor, and here also. And saw the patient means and the doctor saw the patient. That is how it is written, isn't it? So here the subject is the doctor. This kind of sentence which has got 2 independent sentences joined with a conjunction is known as compound sentence. Now let us see how many verbs are there in this sentence. The doctor came. Came is one verb. Saw is another verb. So we have 1 plus 1 verb in this sentence. Earlier we had just one verb. In case of simple sentence, one verb. In case of compound sentence, 2 verbs. They will be joined by a conjunction and or but or yet, for, like this. We shall talk about that in a while. Okay. Just keep in mind that 2 compound sentences mean that both these sentences, they are strong enough to hold themselves straight. That means they can stand independently. They do not need any support. Okay? Like the doctor came. Very good. The doctor saw the patient. Even better. So, both these sentences, are they not independent? They are independent. Okay? We get the feel that they are independent. So, such kind of sentence is known as compound sentence. Simple mixed together, compound sentence. That is how it is. So, this is compound sentence, and remember, compound sentence will have 2 verbs minimum. They can have more also, but 2 has to be there. And in this sentence, which is compound, we have 2 clauses. This is the main clause, which is known as principal clause, and the other one, which is also independent, but little bit dependent on the principal clause for its complete meaning. Okay, the doctor saw the patient gives one meaning, but the doctor came and saw the patient gives a little different meaning. Okay, so it is somewhat dependent, not totally, somewhat dependent, very little dependency is there. This clause is known as coordinate clause. And I would like to mention one more point here, students, that in order to know the types of sentences, we have to know first what is phrase, then what is clause. Phrase and clause idea we have to have. Okay. Then we also need to know what are verbals. Okay, because here we need to really concentrate on the verbs. In order to know how many clauses are there, we have to know how many verbs are there. Okay, so we need to know we have to pick out the verbs. Now, if we do not know what verbals are, because verbals are not verbs. Okay, so I shall explain it to you even more, but keep in mind that first of all, phrase and clause idea we have to have, and secondly, we have to know what are verbals and what are verbs. So verbs are the action verb which we shall be considering here. We shall be picking out the verbs, and you will know, and there will be verbals which we have to leave. We don't have to concentrate on them because they are not verbs. Basically, they are verbals. Verbals may be nouns, they may be adjective, but they will not be verbs. But they look like verb. So this is the point of confusion, and here is the source of problem. Why this confusion stays all the time regarding types of sentences. Okay, so let us try to clear it. So compound sentence, it will have two clauses. One is principal clause, the other is coordinate clause. Let us see yet another type of sentence. The doctor came when he was called. Okay. So, the first thing that we have to do when we get a sentence is to locate the verbs. Let us see which are the verbs over here. The doctor came. Came is one verb. When he was called. Was called is another verb. When he was called. So, clearly we can see there are two verbs. That means there will be two clauses. Now we have to find the clause. The doctor came. This is the principal clause. When he was called. Now this is more dependent on principal clause than the previous one. This is lot more dependent rather. This is totally dependent actually. Because if we just say when he was called doesn't make any meaning. When he was called, what does this mean? Okay. So this is totally dependent. This clause is totally dependent on the first clause, the principal clause. The doctor came. So such kind of clause which is totally dependent on the principal clause, that is known as subordinate clause. That is known as subordinate clause. Now subordinate clause, if present in a sentence, that sentence is known as complex sentence. Complex sentence where there will be one verb, that is okay, principal clause verb is there, but the other verb we will not take as one because this is dependent on the principal clause. This is not able to stand on its own. Okay, it is dependent. So we will take it to be half. Complex sentence, it has got one verb plus half verb. Now let us see yet another type of sentence. In this sentence, what is there? Let's see. The doctor came when he was called and saw the patient. So the first thing that we have to do when we get a sentence is to find the verb. So let us do that. The doctor came. Came is the verb. When he was called. When he was called, another verb, and saw the patient. Saw, third verb. So what do we have here? The doctor came. This is the principal clause. When he was called, this is subordinate clause, and saw the patient, this is coordinate clause. Okay, such type of sentence which has minimum of one subordinate clause and one coordinate clause, it is known as compound complex sentence. Simply because it is having one compound part, it is having one coordinate clause and it is having one subordinate clause. If coordinate clause is present, then that sentence is compound sentence, and if subordinate clause is present, then that sentence is complex sentence. And if both the clause, coordinate and subordinate, both the clause are present, then that is compound complex sentence. Let's see the condition of verb here. One verb plus this is half and this is one. So 1 plus half verb. So these many verbs are there. So these are the types of sentences, my dear student, where we have to first keep in mind the verb, which are the verbs. Then we have to see the clause, okay, if it is coordinate clause or subordinate clause. How much dependent is it on the main clause? That there's a trick to know that, because the conjunctions which are joining the two sentences, compound, complex, whatever the sentence, they are actually two sentences joined to make one sentence. Okay, and they are joined by a conjunction. That conjunction may be, in case of compound sentence, it is known as coordinate conjunction, and in case of complex sentence, it is known as subordinate conjunction. So there is a set of coordinate conjunction and subordinate conjunction, which even though it is not hard and fast, but still we can count on them. So that method of locating sentence comes secondary, but the primary is, always keep in mind, primary is we have to find the number of clause first and verbs therein. We have to first locate clause and verb, and then we have to find out the type of sentences. Now we shall quickly talk about how to change one sentence to the other type. In question paper, we often come across these type of questions. Join these two sentences with but or and, or change the following sentence into complex sentence. From compound sentence, change it into complex, from simple to compound, like that. So changeover is asked many a time. So we shall see that just in a while now. Yes, student, before proceeding to sentences, I would like to clear this point, verbals, because when we are looking for verbs, we many a times do this mistake of picking up verbals. along with verbs. So we have to know how to avoid them, how to leave them. Okay, so let us see what verbals are. Verbals basically, they look like verb but they are not verb. They may be V1 plus ing. Okay, but keep in mind that if there is no helper here, this position, just before the V1 ing position, if there is no verb, that means helper means am, is, are, or you can take them to be was, were, or they can be has, had, been, whatever. These forms, these are all helpers. Helper. If helper verbs are not there, then ing form cannot be taken. Okay? If ing, V1 ing, that means sleeping, dancing, talking, all these things, words, they are not preceded by a helper verb, we cannot take them. Okay? This is the cardinal rule. Just keep them in mind that helper verb has to be with the ing form of verb to be taken as verb. Okay? If no helper, that is not a verb. Like in an example, say I am swimming. Okay? This is one sentence, and just modify it a little. I like swimming. What is the difference between these two sentences? I am swimming. I am swimming here. There is a helper verb. This is a helper verb. So, both these are verbs. Swimming is a verb here. But here, this like is a verb in itself. It's not a helper verb. So, swimming is not a verb here. Swimming is a noun here. It is used as a noun and it is known as gerund. Okay, so we have to avoid this. We cannot take this in our counting of verbs. This is one, and the other is to what? To swim. Like I like to swim. You like to talk. They have gone to do shopping. So to do here, to talk, to swim. All these are infinitive. Infinitive. We cannot take them. Okay. So just keep in mind, we will avoid to V1. We will avoid V1 ing if not preceded by helper. These 2 points has to be there. Then only we can truly locate the correctly locate the sentence types of locate the verb and then find out the types of sentence. Now let us quickly proceed to the types of sentence now. Yes, students. Now we shall see the types of sentences. So let us start with one. He was a man full of hope. Okay. He was a man full of hope. So the first thing, we have to locate the verbs. Let us do that. He was a man full of hope. So was is the only verb here. Okay. So sentence is just one verb. It is a simple sentence. Simple sentence, isn't it? Okay, now let us see what we can do with this simple sentence. Can we change it into complex or compound? Let us see. He was a man who was full of hope. So here let us just look for the verbs. He was is a verb. Who was again, full of hope. So, two verbs are there, so two clause. Now the next job is to see whether the second clause, the first clause will be, again, it is not necessary that the first clause will be principal clause all the time. It can be in some other place also. We have to be careful, okay? Let us see. He was a man who was full of hope. He was a man, this is the principal clause. This is the principal clause. P, C. Who was full of hope. Now this part is dependent on principal clause. Who. If the word who is there, then automatically, most of the time it is subordinate clause. So that means this is subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. Okay. Sentence with one subordinate clause, that is a complex sentence. Subordinate clause means it is a complex sentence. So this sentence becomes complex. Can we make compoundable? Let us see. He was a man and he was full of hope. We can write like this. If we join two sentences with and, that becomes a compound. So we can write, he was a man and he was full of hope. That will become compound sentence, because whenever we are joining with and, both the parts they are equally strong. Okay, let's go for the second one. The little girl did not know what to do. This is the sentence. The little girl did not know what to do. So we have to first know what kind of sentence it is. Let us find the verb first. The little girl did not know what to do. Did not know. So, did not know. Did is a helping verb and know is coming after that. So, did know. These are, this is one word. The one verb. Okay. Not is not a verb. Just keep that in mind. But did know. Did and know. This is the main verb of this clause. The little girl did not know. Here one clause ends. Okay. Then the next part, what to do. To do. To do. Keep in mind, children, to do. To do is not a verb. It is infinitive. So we cannot take this. Okay. This cannot be taken. This is not a verb. So that means it does not have any other verb. It has got just this verb. So sentence with one verb. Now this is taken as one because they are together. They will be taken as one verb. Okay. So this is one verb. This sentence has one. So it is also simple sentence. Okay. Now can we change this simple sentence to complex sentence? Let us see. The little girl did not know what she should do. What to do has been replaced by what she should do. Now here we have little girl did not know. Did know, this is one verb. What she should do. Should is another verb. Isn't it? What she should do. Should do. Since the helper verb is there, should do. They can be one verb. So one and one. But this verb, what she should do, is not independent. It is dependent on the main clause. So this part is the principal clause. Principal clause. And this part is the subordinate clause. So this becomes a, what kind of sentence? If subordinate clause is present, that becomes a complex sentence. So this becomes a complex sentence. So this is how we have to change. Let us see another one. I don't know why he is absent. I don't know why he is absent. So let us see what kind of sentence is this. Don't know. Of course, not has to be avoided, but don't know, this is one verb. Why he is absent is another verb. So clearly this has got two verbs. So it will be either compound sentence or complex sentence. It cannot be simple sentence because two verbs are there. So compound sentence or complex. Let us see the clause now. I don't know is one clause, principal clause. Why he is absent. First of all, if it is why, we can be rest assured that it is complex. But not to be totally sure, we have to cross check it. Why he is absent. He is absent. It doesn't make a sense by itself. I don't know why he is absent. This makes a sense, but just why he is absent is not making a sense. So this is a complex sentence. Okay. Now we have to make this sentence into simple. How do we do that? Keep in mind, in simple sentence we have only one verb. So we have to do away with this verb. Now we cannot change the meaning of the sentence. So we have to change few words. Okay. Like, I don't know why. So why? Why means it says something about the reason. Reason is not known. So we can use the word reason. I don't know the reason for his. Now absent becomes absence here. I don't know the reason for his absence. We can bring about few changes in the word. That is possible. Okay. Because we have to do away with the verb. So some changes has to be done. So these are the changes. I don't know the reason for his absence. For his absence. Now in this sentence there is just one verb. I don't know. I don't know. Rest all these are, this is phrase. Okay. A group of words without a subject or a verb is known as phrase. So here is the concept of phrase that is important. Okay. So just by seeing a big sentence, don't take it for granted that it will be complex or compound. It can be simple sentence also. Okay, because the group of words, they may be just phrase without any verb. So this is that. I don't know the reason for his absence. It has got only one verb, don't know, and this is simple sentence. So this is how we bring about change in the sentence. Now, look at this sentence, very big. This news is false, for it is not coming from a reliable source. Difficult, but let's try. This news is false. Clearly, is a verb. For it is not coming. Is not we can avoid. Is coming, okay, take or don't take, doesn't matter. Another verb from a reliable source. There is no verb here. So, two verbs, either complex or compound. Now we have to find the clause. This news is false. This is the principal clause. Then, for it is not coming from a reliable source. It is not coming from a reliable source. Quite independent sentence, okay? So, and joined by a conjunction. It is not coming from a reliable source. This is principal clause and this is coordinate clause. Coordinate clause. Little bit dependency, not complete dependency. Okay, it is independent clause. These two clauses both are independent. Okay, so two independent clause, one will be principal clause, the other will be coordinate clause. So if coordinate clause is present, then that sentence will be compound sentence. So this is a compound sentence. Can we change it into simple? This news is false. Or can we change it into complex? If we write like this, then let us see if there is a verb here, not coming from a reliable source. Not coming from a reliable source. Now, students, keep this in mind. Coming is there. But as I told you, there should be a helping verb before this, which clearly is not. There is no helping verb, not coming. So, not coming, ignore not, coming here is the name of an action. Okay, it is not an action verb. It is not a verb here. So not coming from a reliable source, this news is false. This becomes a simple sentence, not a complex one. It is a simple sentence. Okay, because it has got just one verb, that is. So this is a simple sentence. So we are just changing over one. So okay, from compound to simple we made. Now let us see the last one. She is a woman. She is happy. Now, the question may be, join the two sentences using and, but, whatever. Or make these two sentences a simple one, say a single simple sentence or a complex sentence. So, how can we do the change? Let us see. She is a woman, she is happy. Both these sentences are simple sentence, two simple sentences. Now, if we make it into one simple sentence, what it can be? She is a happy woman. This is simple sentence, okay? Because it has got just one verb. This is a simple sentence. SS I am taking for simple sentence. Okay, can we make it complex? Let us see. She is a woman who is happy. Okay, she is a woman who is happy. Now here we have one verb which is and the other verb again is and it is joined with this subordinating conjunction. So this is a complex sentence. Can we make it compound even? Let us see. She is a woman and she is happy. She is a woman and she is happy. Quite fine, no problem there. So that becomes a compound sentence. Okay. So students, this is how we bring about a change in sentences. From simple to compound to complex, all these three sentences can be interchanged. This is just a way of writing sentences. All the sentences, they can be written in many different ways. To know the type of the sentence, you have to first keep it in mind that you have to first locate the verb of the sentence. Then you have to find how many clauses are there in the sentence. And then you have to analyze that whether this clause is independent or is it dependent. So depending on independency or dependency, there will be either compound sentence or complex sentence. Then you can simply do the changeover with the change of different words. Okay, removing some, putting some. So you can do the change, provided you know the tricks. Now, there are few words which if present in the sentence, you can very easily say whether it is compound sentence or complex sentence. There is a set of conjunctions like and, but, yet, for, as well as, either or, neither nor. These are coordinating conjunctions. That means if these words are present in a sentence, that is a compound sentence. The two independent sentences are joined with these words. But if words like although, because, as soon as, then all the WH words, when, who, which, where, these kind of words, if they are present, then it is a complex sentence. So we have to know the words, the joining words, the conjunctions, and clause and verbs. And we have to also know what are verbals. We have to avoid the verbals, and we have to know the phrase also. So many things are required. Of course, these knowledge will be required, but these are not so difficult concepts after all. If you just see them or read or do some little practice with the sentence, they are very interesting. Okay, use this video as study material. See this twice, thrice. I have also made video on gerunds and participle. So you can follow those videos also in order to make the concept even more clear, and very soon you will become masters in English grammar. So we'll meet in yet another video, dear students. Keep practicing and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.